Back on board the World America, and I'm going to see my room for the first time. Okay, bathroom off to the left. We have a desk area. This is the solo studio interior. We have some hanging hooks. I have more with me as usual. And we have the desk and mirror area. And me. Okay. The bed, again on this ship, the studio rooms are regular beds, not as big as like a double occupancy room, but still pretty decent. I guess a full size, or what they call a double, a little smaller than a queen. Full length mirror, me again, the TV, and a little shelf thingy there. Here's where you can order your breakfast. If you're fantastic and above, your continental breakfast will be complimentary. And there are extra items you can order for a fee. And then the phone over here, which seems like a small thing, but I love it because the desks, there's just not room for it. And I need it for my bottles and things, so I love that the phone is actually here. And there's the garbage pail where I often, whatever I'm throwing out often does not fit any of the things on the list, so that's always fun. Okay. Then we have a closet where I'm gonna figure out how to stuff all my clothes in there. Some drawers and shelves, and the safe, which again is not a bad idea to use, but I've never had a problem on any ship over many cruises with anybody really taking anything. Okay, and here we have the hanging space in the closet, a little shelf, usually like shoes go down there. This is the bag if you want to send out laundry for either steaming or steaming, pressing, or actual laundry service. There's some light switches so that you do not have to get out of bed to shut off the lights. If you do it the right way and shut off the desk light, you'll be down to just that to stop at the end. And this is cool. The new ship has a USB-C right here, and it actually is a reasonable fast charge, unlike a lot of the other options I don't normally use. So on this ship now, I will just use my fast charging cable and plug my phone in there. And it's great that it's over there and I don't need an extension cord all the way from the desk. Okay. We have a big headboard with a little bit of light on top. Now, this is something that people keep asking about, and I mention in all my videos. So there are Euro outlets, but there's this perception that MSC is so European that people are worried they need adapters. No, that's not true. This ship was built more for us here in the United States. However, all the ships I've ever been on, all the MSC ships have Euro outlets and US outlets. And there you have a couple more, like regular older style USB ports. Now some people are thinking that these are not US outlets because they're like a multi-use, but they are. So yeah, you do not need an adapter to use those. And then the mini bar would be in here. I don't know if it's locked or not at this point. Okay, so now just to note, because this keeps coming up also, the minibar is not included for most guests. Bella Fantastica standard rooms, if you're in Yacht Club, yes. And coming in July in Yacht Club Suites, there will be like a one-time setup included, but that's a specific thing that you should check into at the time if you're going to be in a suite in July. And here's the minibar price list. I will post a picture of that separately because it looks like it may have actually changed. Then we'll take a look at the bathroom. Now the new style card readers are, the card just kind of barely sits in. It doesn't slide in the way it used to. And this is the make up your room and leave me alone buttons, do not disturb, some more light switches, and the thermostat. So you can lower that if you need it, or raise it if you're a person that gets chilly. Okay, so now we have the bathroom. Let me turn on the light. Okay. So there's a little bit of a counter area where you could put some things if you need to, and the sink, and some shelving, and of course the towel bars. We have a magnifying mirror, which didn't used to be included in standard rooms, but that's very helpful for those of us whose eyes are no longer 25, let's say. And here we have some cabinet space and the bathroom garbage. Now, when you're in these cruise ship bathrooms, you only want to throw toilet paper in the toilet. Seriously, just don't I know people kind of do what they want in most cases. On ships, don't do it because you're going to cause yourself an embarrassing issue where you have to get someone to come to unclog the toilet. In fact, depending upon the situation, you may even want to kind of flush before throwing in a bunch of paper by itself. But never use baby wipes or anything else because you can knock out the plumbing for the entire floor on a ship, besides having to cause someone to come and unclog your toilet. Okay, now we have the shower. So as usual, well, there's the clothesline up there. I don't usually use that one. I have my own because I feel like it's in the shower where I need to shower. We have the shower head that comes down, and it's good, again, I've mentioned in other videos that you can lower this, like if I'm getting up in the morning and I don't want to wash my hair, I just want to like freshen up or something for the daytime, I'll lower it so that it doesn't get my hair all wet, and then, you know, raise it up for a regular shower. It's just very handy. And as usual, there is the MSC Scent shampoo and body wash. And a little shelf for like your extra shampoo bottles and things that you might want to bring. You usually want to bring conditioner if you need it. I certainly do. Okay, and here at the sink, there's always pump hand soap, which I'm a really big fan of. I kind of hate bar soap. I think I haven't used it since the 80s when we didn't really have that. But, well, the early 80s probably. So yeah. Okay, so that's the room. It's a small room. Oh, two more hooks up here. It is a small room, but you know, you're paying a solo price, which is very handy for people like me who do prefer to travel solo. I'm actually with friends on this cruise, as it turns out. That wasn't planned originally, but they're in their own room, so this will be good. This would actually now be pretty much like the lowest category on the world class ships.